What's going on, guys? We're outside of one of my newest listings in the heart of Southwest Detroit, affectionately named Mexican Town. And it's actually a listing that I helped clients buy probably, call it 6 months ago. It was not in this condition here, and absolutely done a great job of rehabbing this property, but still leaving the historic characteristics that we all know and love to be unique to Detroit. Maybe not necessarily completely unique to Detroit, but definitely found in Detroit more so than you find anywhere else in the country, Detroit architecture. So we're gonna tour this place. You know, there's a lower level and there's an upper level, pretty similar in aesthetic, but some slight differences, so you show you both. I'm actually renting both units out at $17.50 a piece. So, you know, look, 2 bedrooms, 1 bath, one has a basement, one has an attic access, so check it out. Oh yeah, and before we get on the inside, one of the coolest features about this is that we're right here in the heart. So let me just flip this bad boy around, and then you're gonna see that is the Ambassador Bridge right there that connects Canada. And then here's the outside of the duplex. And then, bam, Mexican Town restaurant, Zoe Michel. And then there's another one that's over there that's really popular. I'll show you when we walk over there, but literally steps away from some of the best Mexican food restaurants in all of Southwest Detroit, and actually the heart. I mean, Los Gallenes, that's what's over there. And it's like packed wall to wall on a Saturday night. But let's just check it out. So it's cool. Got these little wrought iron gates that you know, each person has. They'll separate the properties from the outside, at least. And then you got your own. Walk up. Similar to that side. That's the upper side. And then over here is the front main floor. No driveway, so you kind of share, you know, this back alley or whatnot, I would call it. But literally out front, I mean, you got street parking and then 2 parking lots because you're right across the street from the restaurants. So, you know, that's actually kind of cool. We picked this property up last year, I believe in like the 190 range. And our comps, our comparables were that this house will be worth, you know, close to like 380 or so when done and completely flipped. And I think that's what we could go on the market for and sell it at, in that range. But that's not what we're looking to do. We're looking to, you know, rent it out, you know, keep it for a long time and accrue the rental income. Not we, I mean, me and my clients. I feel like we're a team, so that's why I'm saying we. But let's check out the backyard. All right, so you got this backyard here, the alley off the back. So if you wanted to, you technically could, you know, pull cars through. Like you see the guy next door, he has a gate that you can pull this trailer in and out of. And then back here, you got a little area to be able to garden, etc. ACs they put in. You got a back deck for the lower unit, upper deck for the upper unit, and then a back door here that will get you to the basement of both, and up to the second unit if you want it. Now, let's go back around and get ourselves to the front. Thinking about relocating to Detroit or Metro Detroit? Well, I got just the thing for you. My team and I have taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide. This is meant to save you hours and hours of research that we had to do to put this thing together. And I've linked it down below. From the best employers to the top hospitals and a boatload of other things that you will need to know before you move here, I've linked it all down below. The best part is this guide is 100% free. It's my gift to you. Yes, 100% free. I said gift. Now, go ahead and click going down below. It'll be in the description or it'll be pinned to the top comment. So go ahead and click that, and I hope it helps. All right, back around the front. Get inside. So if you don't know, before we get in here and get acquainted with the house, Southwest Detroit is a area that is kind of booming right now. A lot of turnover. Not far from here, the Michigan train station was just kind of revitalized and revamped by Ford Motor Company. They're going to use it as their kind of innovation center, where they're going to be doing types of trainings. They're going to host a lot of their like electric vehicles, you know, parts of their company out over there, and they're doing tours, and they're even thinking about bringing back potentially the train station to be operational to run trains. So that's a story for another day, but a lot of things happening over here. And then plus you're only like call it 5 to 10 minutes away from downtown Detroit as well. So, like I know, anything that's close to downtown, is close enough like that, is going up in value. So, let me stop blabbering and show you what the inside of this place looks like. As soon as you walk in, you're greeted by this lovely lamp. And then to your left, you will have a formal dining, or not dining, but family room or so. But my greatest focal point of this place is what they did with this fireplace. I mean, how beautiful is this fireplace? Leaving like all the original woodwork and craftsmanship to clean it up and bring it back to life is impeccable, because it was not like this when we got it. I can tell you for sure. When we got it, it hadn't been touched in 40 years, at least, and this place was built in 1919. So it was definitely a lot of original, architecture and stuff going on in here. You got the staging going on. Just great place for gathering, play some games, no TV in here. Although you could, along this wall, but this feels like more like a place of, reading or, fun or talking, things like that. Then over here, you got the dining room. So the dining room is all set up like this. This furniture could stay with the place. We're also actually offering it furnished if the buyer or the renter wants. They kept the built-ins over here. So these all original wood built-ins. That's stuff that, we love to try to keep if we can, but it's always so tough because of the condition that it may be in when we get to it. Also, speaking of condition, this door, man. How beautiful is this door? This sliding wood door. Like, look at all those panels. And then you got the little hinge right there. Man, I was so happy that they kept that. I mean, it's not the most functional thing in the world, but boy, is it pretty. Kind of like me. No, just playing. But all right, let's keep it going and move on into kind of the bathroom. All right, so we got the bathroom. So this is gonna be the only one on this level. I mean, this, so one bath, two, one. I mean, they didn't give us a lot of space to work with in the original build, because these homes weren't built for large people or today's standards. It was 1919. People were a little more simplistic back then. Unless you had like Rockefeller money, But I think they did a really good job with the tile installation, ripping out the entire bathroom, new bathtub, and then keeping the doors. Yep, love it. More built-ins over here. And then you will have bedroom 1. Did a good job. They did a good job revitalizing the floors too. And then, look at that. Can't talk enough about the doors. Even down to the handles. How sweet are those? And you got a closet, right? But there's a little light in here still too. Oh, there we go. A little light in here. They thought of a ton of stuff on this one. Let's go check out the main or primary bed. Should probably be this guy. So, very similar size. So I told these guys that, hey, it'll probably be good for roommate living. Just, you split the cost down the middle, and you won't have to, argue about who gets the bigger or better bedroom, because they're very, very similar. And then also, you're probably thinking to yourself like, oh man, the price point, the size of the bedrooms, you would want bigger, but unique to the historic context of this home. Back in 1919, you're lucky that you got a closet, because many of these houses we tour over here don't even have closets. They're small, they don't have closets, because people back in that time didn't have closets, didn't need them, because they used armoires or dressers for all their clothing, and they were smaller people. So they didn't have as much stuff that would take up as much, space as we do today. So fun fact I always love explaining to my clients when, we're touring some of these historic homes, like, what's going on? I'm like, well, technically, back in the day, it wasn't like this. All right, so here's the kitchen, the fridge. They installed this built-in to enclose this kitchen because it was free-floating before. Got them a little bit of a pantry over here. That was cool. Those are just kind of nice touches they added that they didn't have here before. Obviously, all new, you know, cabinets, backsplash, appliances. I mean, just kind of the modern, minimalistic living, you know, for the local young professional, that's what I like to say. This is off to that back deck I showed you earlier. There you go. You sit out there, have your morning coffee. And then this leads up to the second unit. That's that back door I showed you. I mean, look, no hiding. We're still in the city of Detroit. This is a vacant place, so, you know, just a little extra security measures just in case. This is the basement. It's gonna be full. I'm gonna show you that because the person down here, they'll get access to this basement, and the upper will just have access to the upper will have access to the attic space, like I said before. So, pretty huge basement. I mean, washer and dryer comes with it. Clean down here. You got furnace, hot water tanks. The dryer. There's a little toilet in there. And then some storage if they should so choose to use it. They even got some old license plates from whoever may have lived here. Actually, we do know who lived here. We bought it from a guy who was selling it because his parents used to live in it, and then they passed, and then so he was trying to figure out what to do with it, and so he decided to sell it, and you know, we worked with them and got him a price that was fair, and took it off his hands and said, hey man, we're gonna make this bad boy, bring it back to life, but still keeping a lot of the original, you know, things that you remember as a kid. So hoping to show this bad boy to him here soon. You know, it'll be really cool to get him a chance to walk through it and kind of go down memory lane. Now for the question of the day. What's making you consider leaving your current city and relocating to Detroit? Make sure you leave the answers below. I want to hear what you got to say. Also, if you got any questions or thoughts, go ahead and drop those down below too, or feel free to shoot me a DM or text or even an email. My information should pop up on the screen right about here. I think I covered all the places. All right, so this is the back staircase. And to get to the upper unit, you gotta take this little windy road on up there. If you're coming from inside the unit or accessing the basement, that's why I kind of felt important that the upper unit wouldn't need to do so. So wanted to bring up the laundry to their unit. And they were successful. So here it is. In-unit laundry on the second floor on a 1900 build. All right. So it's pretty impressive because you don't really see this or get that on a place this old. So let's take a look at this kitchen. So very similar, except for over here, this was the fridge downstairs. And then over here you got space for the stove downstairs. And over here they had to build an entire new casing to house this because, like I said, this one was free floating before up here for sure. Downstairs may not have been free floating. I could have been wrong on that. And here's that little back deck or upper deck for the upper unit. Now let's get to the bedrooms. So very similar. All right, so I'm walking around, you may hear it, I don't know if you do or don't, but there's some creaking in the floors. I mean, that was extremely hard to try to remedy or get out of without destroying these floors. We tried everything and, you know, nothing really worked. So we're still working on it, but kind of is what it is. We actually just leased out this one, and that one to be done or moved into at the end of the month. And then the basement, the bottom one, is the one that's still for, you know, showings and get a lease out. But yeah, man, you know, if you got any remedies for old floors that still creak, let us know. But look at these doors, man. These ones are even in better condition than the ones downstairs. So cool. The bathroom, exactly the same. Both. bedroom. Just a difference in, disposition, orientation, so to speak. And then you can obviously get a better idea of the space without the furniture. Put your own details or touches on it. That's the door to the downstairs. So instead of that huge sliding door and that walk in, you get just a book closet. How about that? I can see you definitely sitting in a chair, having a bookcase, and sitting there reading a good book inside of there. Or it'd be a good spot for a nice beanbag. Then of course, fireplace. And then this bad boy goes up to the attic space. That's all unfinished. That is it's a huge space to be able to store stuff. Let's see. I don't have my lights on or anything, but you can take a peek. Look how huge this is. Storage up here would be crazy. Or turn it into like a studio or something. At my side, I don't mess around with attics and stuff like that. It's just a huge person, so as less liability as possible. All right, let's go back down. I'll show you where you enter in on this one. So you enter in down here, up these stairs, and into this unit. So, no, not bad. Let me get back down to the other unit, and then we'll wrap this thing up with a little walking tour to where I showed you, the heart of Mexican Town. All right, so we're gonna wrap this bad boy on up, show you the outside, and walk over to the hot spot that I was telling you about. Hey guys, it's Ed Butler. I love making these videos, but there's only one thing I love more, and that's helping you and your family move and relocate to Detroit from all over the U.S. and sometimes to the other country. I've helped countless families make that move, and so whether you're looking to move here next week, next month, or even next year, feel free to reach out. I love to help. My contact information is right here on the screen or down below just in case you missed this pop-up, and I look forward to helping you and your family make the move to Detroit. All right, so yeah, as promised, we're gonna go check out the kind of city center. So Southwest Detroit kind of has a couple different city centers, and it's based on Bagley Street and then Verner Street. And the one that we're going to walk onto right now is Bagley, and it's right here in the center of everything. But you can see all these little cute houses. This is what the original houses look like. And there's a little green one right here, it's super cute. That one's being rented out right now too. I've seen the people coming in and out of here. They don't look native to the area. Let's flip this one around so you can kind of see what we're checking out while we're walking. Mexican Town restaurant. Today is a Sunday, Sunday morning, but which Southwest is really known for a lot of this murals and art found all around the city. Very vibrant Mexican heritage and some great food. So we're right here on 24th and Bagley. You can kind of see the city's installed these cool little touch screens all around. People who don't think that Detroit is into the next the 21st century. I mean, look at this touchscreen, 24th Street in Bagley, Detroit partnership, 1922. Like, Detroit is not what you think it is. Got the Canadian, American, and Mexican flags all together. There's a clear restaurant behind there as well. And then you can see what we got. It's kind of old school, right? So it's this narrow street, and it kind of gives you kind of an old school feel of walking downtown in like a New York or something like that. Evie's Tamales. This place actually opens up at like 5 a.m. It's crazy. 4 a.m. I think, because all the guys want to get their tamales before work, so they got to be open in order for them to do it. So she's open at like 4 o'clock in the morning, making the tamales, and guys are lined up before they go to their construction jobs. It's actually pretty cool, man. It's a local market, and then more restaurants. See, parking. There's another mural like the one I talked about, like others I talked about. There's a lot of cool art down here. Man down there with the mariachi. Keep going. Let's go. Keep going. This one here. El Zocalo? Oh, Zocalo, I think. I don't know. But I do know. What I do know is the food is great. This is one of the top spots, Zoe Michalco. And this one here, Los Gallanes, that one is a really good food spot, but it also is a really cool club. So, oh. Oh, wow. That's the Detroit stuff right there. He hopped out. Like, oh, well, it's the money club over here, too. Oh, wow, it is flying everywhere. Right. The money was flying everywhere. That's so funny. I was wondering, I thought she was trying to talk to me, but money's flying. So, gotta get it. That is so funny. Detroit live. All right, so another bakery, more art. And then here's the Bagley pedestrian bridge. So, like I told you, look, down there, Ambassador Bridge, they're actually building the Gordie Howe Bridge a little bit further down. And then this bridge right here will get you pretty much to downtown Detroit almost. That right there is the Michigan Central train station. And then the Michigan Welcome Station. And this bridge will get you over there and then get you started if you wanted to, get your way over to Canada. So, super cool, man. Oh yeah, quick correction too, over there, it's not gonna get you close to Canada. It'll get you close to downtown. And it'll get you right next to Corktown, which is the oldest neighborhood in all of Detroit. So, yeah, no, that bridge right there links Southwest Detroit to the rest of the up-and-coming areas and get you way closer to downtown and get you to walking distance to that Michigan Central Station, which is getting built out more and more by the day. All right, so that wraps it up for me on this tour. If you want to see more about Mexican Town in Detroit, I have a video right here that I'll pull up for you. And if you want to know more about the city, go ahead and hit the like button, subscribe down below. I'm back in action, baby, so you're going to see more videos just like this for me. All right, with that, I'll catch you on the next one.